Hello all, we are here with part 3 of Sage 24 Indie Showcase, and coming up first we have Biophage. In this 2D platformer, we have controller support with responsive inputs. So you play as this green slime dude, and you can stick to walls and ceilings to advance in the stage. It reminds me of the old school Spider-Man games. The character has moves like attacking to deal with enemies, as well as grab moves so you can pick them up and throw them. There will also be some boulders in the stage that you would need to grab and throw it at certain walls to open up the path. You can gain speed by grabbing ledges to propel yourself forward. I like this game and I appreciate that it has controller support. Next game is Cat Blitz, which is a game that I'm not exactly sure how to play, but at first I thought it was just going to be like simple blackjack with some special effects and maybe some cute cats on the screen. But it wasn't that type of game. It was more like a Pac-Man meets Donkey Kong hybrid, you know? I wasn't sure what to do, but I was just enjoying myself. I would run around and grab these green coins while jumping over these spears that are rolling in the stage. So that's what kind of made me think about, like, you know, Donkey Kong, how you had to jump over the barrels. It was very similar to that. And every time you jumped over these spears, you would get 100 points. So, there would also be an exclamation mark that will appear on your screen if an object is incoming. So if there was something rolling in your direction that could hurt you, you could be ready to jump over it. So it was very useful since the game was actually a bit fast. And sometimes you will get this power up that makes your character run faster, though I'm not exactly sure how to trigger it or, you know, what causes it to happen. So when I'm running in this stage, sometimes I would make it to a giant, like a room with a giant face down card, and you can hit it and it will reveal itself. And this is where I just didn't understand how the game worked, because I'm not exactly sure what I needed to do with these cards. There was an option on the title screen, but there was an option on the title screen that stated how to play, but it didn't actually tell you how to play. So it just gave you like some brief description saying that you play as this cat and you cause trouble or something like that. So I will say that this is a great game simply because I enjoyed myself a lot and I didn't even know what was going on. So I'm sure that I could enjoy this title even more once I understand the objectives. Next is Blobun, and it is like a puzzle game. So the objective here is to cover all the tiles in the stage without stepping on a tile more than once. So you don't want to, like, you know, step somewhere where you already stepped. And it's a nice chill game to play. It had like some lullaby music in the background that's likely to put you to sleep. I did mess up a few times stepping on the same tile multiple times, yet the game did not end and I didn't lose a life or anything like that. There was one time where the rabbit face was frowning, but that's about it. I'm not exactly sure if you can lose in this game. Maybe it just reduces your points. Like I said, I wasn't exactly sure. But this game is an early demo, so maybe it's just an issue within, you know, it's just something that hasn't been finished yet. So this is, you know, a nice small game. It has controller support, so go ahead and try it out. The next game is Blocks for Babies. This is like a Tetris game meets Doom combined. So it's a wild idea. The game has you dropping down blocks, making rolls to clear them out and get points, like, you know, just like classic Tetris. And then you'll get this cursor that you can select a certain area on the screen, and then the game just like changes you into like this first person view, and then you have a gun, and then now you can like shoot the blocks, and the blocks are like trying to fight you back by like shooting fireballs at you. And it just really threw me off the first time I saw this. So you do have a small life bar which allows you to get hit up to 3 times, and you know, while shooting the blocks in this mode, there is a time limit, so you want to try to shoot as many blocks as you can before the time runs out, and then when the time runs out, it'll change you back to the other gameplay, which is like the Tetris. So this is an interesting spin of a Tetris style game, but you know, as I was playing this game, I really just didn't enjoy the first person part that much. I think the Doom gameplay could have been a bit better by making the enemies a bit more aggressive, or you know, diverse, and giving the player a better gun to use, because I think you get like a double-barreled shotgun, and it just was really weird. Also, I think the game has controller support, because I was using the DS4 and I was able to move around with the left analog and pull the right trigger to shoot. However, none of the buttons was letting me interact, so I would have to, like, you know, put my hand on the keyboard to use the E key to interact. So I don't know, it seems like something that people might like, but it just wasn't for me personally. But I will give it kudos just for that gameplay style, how it just really went from Tetris to Doom. I thought it was a really unique way of just combining the two games. The next game is Bobo Bay, and it plays a lot like the Chow Garden from the Sonic Adventure series. The game is in alpha, so it's not very big, but I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. You would get this little Bobo from a forest, and then you start feeding it snacks that will increase its stats, and then, you know, you just pet him and take care of him, and then you go ahead and you take them to races so that they could compete and then earn prizes like sunglasses, hats, and some additional snacks. So I was eventually getting lots of extra food by purchasing stuff from the vendor and winning competitions, that I decided that I would just get a second Bobo so I could feed all the extra snacks to. Eventually I would give one of my Bobos a skateboard, and it would use the skateboard to follow you around, and it would even use it in races. So by the time I was done with this demo, I was in the last week of the game anyway, because there's like a time limit when you play this. Like, you have to just basically raise your Bobo and compete in as many races as you can before the spring season is over. So like I said, I think it was just really good for a small game. I ended up just playing it for way more than I expected that I would. And there was a special feature in which you can take 2 of your Bobos to the competition room, and then you could put them both in a relay race. So I actually, that was like the only feature of the game that I didn't try, was the relay race, because I felt that one of my Bobos was still underpowered. So I basically just didn't want to give it a try. But like I said, I thought the game was just great overall. You know, especially if you don't want to, you know, put yourself through a whole difficult time. You just want a game that you could just, you know, relax and chill and play. This is definitely one of those type of games. It's, you know, like I said, it's still in development. You can wishlist this on Steam if you want. And I'm probably going to do it myself, because like I said, I quite enjoyed this. Even though you can see it's heavily inspired by the Chow Garden, I felt like it had its own unique features that, you know, made it a decent game. So that's going to do it for me on this video. If you're still here, I want to thank you for stopping by and tuning in. Please leave a like or a dislike on this video to support me. Subscribe to the channel if you're feeling generous. I will see you all next time with some more indie games. Until then, take care.